Hey everyone, and welcome to our Q&A presented by Just Love. I'm your host Paula Jane, and I'm talking to Judy Carroll. Judy is an internationally known author. Her books include The Zeta Message, Human by Day, Zeta by Night, and her most recent book, Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History. Welcome, Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
So Judy, the purpose of your books has been to tell the other side of the story, from the extraterrestrial off-planet side. Off-planet teachers are coming here to assist us in our evolutionary journey. You've come here to help with the Ascension process, fourth world to fifth world consciousness, 3D to 5D consciousness. Your tall grey teacher, Maris, has shared many messages, and clearly these messages are coming from love.
Yes, Paula, that's the precise reason why my ET family asked me to write the books in the first place. There's been just so much misunderstanding, fear and disinformation spread over so many years on the subject of ET, Earth-human contact, and especially to do with the Greys. One of the biggest complaints from contactees has been that the Greys won't communicate. Now, I've experienced this problem from the other side as a Grey trying to communicate telepathically with a terrified Earth human. So I understand the problem from both sides. This is why I was asked to write the books to present their side of the story. This is what my role down here as a melded soul is all about, to bridge the cultural and communication gap and to present the off-planet perspective to try to bring in deeper understanding. The shift from 3D to 5D reality is not easy because to do this you have to pass through the fourth dimension, and this involves overcoming fear of the unknown and non-physical. Once 3D-oriented Earth humans begin to come face to face with 4D, which is part of the astral plane, huge problems can potentially arise in the way of physiological shock reactions and intense fear. The person is being brought up against something that they've been taught over generations to believe is pure fiction. This is the field of mind and consciousness in which we very much create our own reality, so positive creativity is vital here.
We've spoken about the astral field in our earlier Q&A episodes, and you explained that the astral field is a part of the earth plane. Sometimes psychics and clairvoyants get messages from the astral plane which aren't necessarily from source, divine energy.
Yes, this is correct. The astral plane is the plane of emotion and has been created purely by human minds. Now, the human mind is capable of great beauty and love, but it's also capable, especially when affected by alcohol or drugs, of creating absolute horror. Added to this is the fact that Earth plane humanity has been so effectively and deeply brainwashed for millennia by the reptilian controllers, as explained in my ET Presence on Earth book. So the astral plane of Earth is a real mixed bag of positive and negative energies spanning 4D to 5D. Thus we have the lower and higher astral planes.
Okay. Are the Akashic records held in the astral field?
Yes, the Earth plane Akashic records are held in the astral plane, so can potentially also be influenced by human thought patterns and perceptions. They too span fourth and fifth dimensions, as done planet Earth herself. Planets, like people, are sentient beings, so are therefore multidimensional.
So there are multiple dimensions, in fact, many dimensions of Earth. And the Earth plane we are living on is, for example, tuned to 106.5 AM, and then there are other stations such as 97.3 FM, all existing in parallel dimensions, but all on the Earth plane. Can you expand on this? I remember you telling us that you have a memory going back millions of years of being an ant person. The ant people held residence in the inner Earth many millennia ago.
Yes, that's actually a great way of describing the multi-dimensions of Earth, Paula, as different radio stations. And there have been several Genesis events on Earth, not necessarily manifesting in 3D, but real nevertheless, and spanning many timelines and dimensions. The ant people were a very early Earth human species and were known as the gardeners of the Earth because their work involved setting up ecosystems to assist in the development of biodiversity on the planet. They were the ones who taught the Hopi people to construct their dwellings, and they're one of the cultures out of which the Greys have evolved. I do have a recollection of a life lived as one of these beings. This is where the misunderstanding has arisen about the Greys being a mutated Earth-human species. Yes, one species of Grey did originate on Earth, so they were Earth-human, but they weren't mammalian like modern-day humans. They were and are insectoids, hence their different appearance. A reptoid human species followed, created at the time of the dinosaurs, which are the ones I call the Repterans, to differentiate them between them and off-planet reptoid humans, many of whom are here as helpers and rescuers. Some of the Earth-plane Repterans are now incarnating here in modern-day human form, and some are based on a lower dimensional frequency that is often referred to as the inner Earth. Different frequencies exist at this level, some higher and some lower.
Judy, your last life was on a planet in the Zeta Reticulan star system, and your consciousness was at level 3 of the human ladder, whereas your off-planet teacher Maris operates at level 8 consciousness awareness. Is this correct?
Yes, more or less, but it's not as cut and dried as that. I've been reunited with my sibling from that life, who can recall that we were blue-grey Arcturian hybrids, which are half Zeta, half Arcturian. Both of us can relate to a more tropical type planet, whereas the reticulan planets tend to be more desert-like. I know Earth people like to put neat little labels on ET's planets of origin, but most are hybrids, and many are beyond physical planetary existence, so this is not easy to clarify precisely. As well as this, all of us have an aspect of our being on every level of the human ladder, most of which is beyond physicality. Maris is actually a higher aspect of my own being, as is often the case when we have contact with an ET, spirit guide or angel. This is why we feel such deep rapport with such beings.
All of this information on dimensions ties into what's playing out on Earth right now, because there are other dimensions involved right here on Earth where beings exist, such as the inner Earth. This is still Earth plane reality. You believe that the Reptarian controllers come from these Earth plane dimensions, and that would make a lot of sense. Also, there could be two controller forces at play down here, opposing one another. That would explain all the confusion and chaos, if you choose to hook into it.
Yes, the controllers are from right here. They are not from off-planet, but they do have off-planet technology, including anti-gravity ships that look like so-called UFOs. This is where the confusion sets in. They also have technology that enables them to get inside people's heads to deliver seemingly channeled messages. There could very well be two controller groups vying for control of the planet, thus all the confusion and conspiracy theories, all adding to the fear level. None of the negative interference is coming from off-planet. World War II was driven by inner Earth controller groups such as the Thule Society, along with other underground reptarian groups that initiated Japan's involvement in the war. And the same thing is happening again. It's important not to get too sucked in by all the confusion and fear-mongering. There is a higher plan unfolding that's driving the shift from fourth to fifth world consciousness, and everything is playing out according to this plan.
Taking everything that we've just discussed into consideration, if you are coming from a higher level of consciousness, a higher vibrational frequency, you are more attuned to love. You would not want to be stepping down into a denser reality. You've evolved. But the Earth plane collective consciousness is at level 1. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And this is why many off-planet people down here find life on Earth so difficult. We've come as volunteers to assist the transition process, so contrary to some claims, the ETs are here right now doing everything possible to help. But ultimately, it's Earth human consciousness that needs to make the free will choice between love and fear. The ETs cannot do this for humanity. Even if the ETs could press a button and instantly heal Earth's environment, if humanity is still thinking and creating in terms of fear, then within a very short time everything would be right back to where it is now. Earth plane humanity itself needs to learn positive rather than negative creativity.
Okay, thank you for this further insight into the Greys and what is happening on Earth right now. If you'd like to read more on this, Judy's latest book, Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, and her other two books, The Zeta Message and Human by Day, Zeta by Night, are available through Amazon and Kindle. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel. Thank you, Judy, and we look forward to our next Q&A session. Bye for now.